To be an effective consultant or contractor, you need to have the right tools and materials to help you support you along the way. And so the question that I really want to ask is, what does it really take to establish a thriving consulting practice that stands out from the rest? That's the ultimate question. Now, today I want to help you discover 5 key setups or things that every consultant needs to boost their efficiency, elevate their performance, and stand out as a leader in the consulting industry. Those are big claims, but these things are useful nonetheless. And of course, if you like videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Michael Tabirade, an independent management consultant and founder of the consultancy Mastery Group. Now let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is templates. Templates, schlemplates. I tried to say that a certain way, but didn't really work. So templates are essential because they really allow you to speed up the process as being a bit more efficient. So the sort of templates you need to be thinking about is contract templates, things to do with working out calculations. Think about sort of like what sort of industry that you're in, okay? So let's say, for example, you're within the project management space. What are the different templates that you need when it comes to the scoping phase, the planning phase, the delivery phase, the monitoring phase, and the closing phase? Are there any templates for, again, risk management as an example? Are there any templates when it comes to things like monitoring different things like expenses? Do you have any templates when it comes to, again, business cases or all of that kind of stuff there? Do you have contract templates? Think about all the templates that you may need in order for you to be effective within a space and be efficient. And so what I typically do is when I go to a specific area or space, I will keep this stuff and remove any sensitive data to ensure that I can use it again and again and again. But what I found very useful is to make sure that I have standard operating procedures, i.e. SOPs, that are right during the time of my tenure within a contract, so that I can make sure that I'm up to speed with how I approach things, so that moving forward, there's an efficiency, okay? There's an efficiency moving forward. It makes me look competent. So you want to find ways to be efficient and effective with your delivery through processes and templates. So all of this stuff needs to be recorded down. How do I create my templates? I can use things like Google Docs, Google Sheets, or Slides, or PowerPoint, or Excel, whatever it may be. Obviously, these days we have things like ChatGPT, which may be useful for giving ideas centered around templates, but you want to add upon that. You don't want to just rely on just generative AI to do all of this stuff, because I promise you it won't be as effective. You need other people and brains and minds to help you, support you develop some of this stuff. So that's what I would say when it comes to the first thing. The second thing is leveraging AI. So this is very timely, actually. So I basically use AI to help me brainstorm ideas, generate pictures or presentations, all of this stuff that you can see on the screen. I want to make this clear. Clear? I said that's so weird. We're not at a stage yet. So as of November 2024, we're not at a stage yet where generative AI can do everything. It can do a lot, but it can't do everything. Until then, you want to make sure that you are the quality person, making sure that you can make improvements to what generative AI has developed. So this could be, let's say, for example, you're looking to do some sort of document. I don't know, you're doing a project charter as an example. You can feed the generative AI such as ChatGPT with the information. You can get the research from Perplexity. You can add images from Imagen as an example, or Canva, or DALL-E from ChatGPT. But unless you have that human edge and that expertise and experience and all these other flavors that you can add to it, it's not going to be a quality document at all. So you want to bear all of this in mind. How can you add flavor to what it is that you're developing based on what generative AI has produced for you? So bear all of this in mind when it comes to using generative AI tools. And I would go for the pro tools as opposed to the cheap little budget ones that only give you a few tokens. Okay, so bear this in mind. So here are examples of some tools that I use. I don't think you need to use loads, okay? Just use a few. I would say one generative AI tool, I think ChatGPT covers it pretty well. It can allow you to do research now, but I think Perplexity is still a bit better. So that would be another one potentially. And one tool that enables you to do minutes, okay? Some sort of generative minutes or whatever it may be, Otter AI is a perfect way to do it. If you don't want to pay for all this stuff, a budget way of doing it is recording the call and then using something like a Google Pixel to transcribe that information, okay, and then use that transcript and put it into ChatGPT and ask for minutes, etc., etc. These are some of the ways before in the past that I've been able to do some of this stuff, obviously with, again, the right sort of like permissions, etc., etc. So you want to make sure you're not breaching anything as well. And so the next thing I want to talk about is time tracking and productivity tools. Why is this important? Well, this is really useful if you want to make sure that you understand how effective you're being and how you're basically producing value within a specific amount of time. That's what it comes down to. So I use something called Toggl, which was recommended to me by one of the consultants I'm working with. And yes, you can use things like an Excel spreadsheet or something like Notion to do all this stuff for free. But again, Toggl allows you to do all of these different reports and all of this kind of stuff there. There'll probably be a link below just in case you're interested in some of this stuff. And so this allows you to really quantify your value. And if you want to use it for invoicing, you can use it for invoicing as well. So I love stuff like Toggl, Rescue Time, Clockify. I've used Rescue Time before. I haven't used Clockify, but I know my virtual assistant uses it as well. So that is something to definitely bear in mind when it comes to some of this stuff. Use the premium features if you're going to use any of this stuff. Again, don't be budget. Now, a question I want to ask you is, what tools drastically improved your consulting practice in general? I would love to know. I'm always loving to see and hear new sort of like tools and softwares that you can utilize. So let me know below. And of course, if you want to work with me, if you're a business leader wanting to build their portfolio career and I want to approach it like an independent consultant, especially someone's positioned for this new world that we're in, then complete the form below. I'll get in contact with you and we can see if there is an opportunity for us to work together. Advanced setup for success. What does this specifically mean? Okay, so what I mean by this is what sort of like tools and softwares and drives do you have to house information, essentially, okay? So this is looking at your Google Drives. This is looking at your Microsoft 365. So I have a professional account, which is linked to a business email, which I use when I go to my different independent management or outside of IR35 contracts, okay? Or under my company. And so you want to make sure that you're organizing files effectively. There may be a time where you may be audited. There may be staff or workers who work under you who may need to understand where things are at. This is why you have this professional setup. And like loads of you have worked a 9 to 5 before anyway, or have people who have used these tools before. Use them well. Understand, how to utilize these different tools effectively. So essentially, there's nothing more to say here apart from the fact that these are secure tools and this is what everyone's using, so you might as well stick with this theme. And finally, we have creating visually appealing content. And how did I create these slides? Using something like Canva. Canva's a fantastic tool. I've been using Canva pretty much since they launched, okay? And I've seen the evolution and development of Canva has been amazing to witness. So Canva's a fantastic tool. You can use, obviously, generative AI tools as well. I use something called Imagen as well, so I pay a subscription for that. Obviously, you can use ChatGPT, which is merged with DALL-E now, and obviously it generates stuff. Meta AI, so if you go into Instagram and you go into the DM section, there is the Meta AI bit, and you can generate different things there in terms of, generative AI, images, etc., etc. It's actually quite quick and quite impressive how quickly the Meta version does this as well. And yeah, these are some of the things that you can do when it comes to, again, picture content, especially when it comes to AI and all of this kind of stuff. So, bonus tip. Well, I want to give you two. So the first one is centered around partnering with professionals. Dare I say it, boom. It's very important to make sure that you hire the right people to support you. I've spoken about accountants so many times. Get an accountant. Don't waste time. But this is only if you're outside of IR35, of course, an independent management consultant. But a virtual assistant is fundamental. I'm telling you, fundamental. Because a virtual assistant is basically your first person who's going to help leverage the tasks that you don't want to do or find difficult, and you can lay that off to them. I've got a very, very helpful virtual assistant. Her name is April. She's amazing at what she does. I've recently started working with her. We're putting together our system. We're working together. We're partnering together. She's not someone who's just working for me. We see each other as partners. And so if you're looking to get a virtual assistant and you're interested, then let me know below. I'll probably give you some sort of contacts where you can essentially find a good virtual assistant as well. I think another thing that I want to highlight is Google's Note LM tool. And obviously Notion has all these other tools as well that you can explore, which is quite useful. But the Note LM tool allows you to add loads of documents and information together and give you ideas centered around the fusion of all these ideas. Is really cool. And what you can do with this is that based on the fusion of all of these ideas in this chat sort of like system, like a chat GPT, it creates a podcast episode based on everything that you fed it. It is amazing stuff. So if you haven't checked out Google Note LM, I would check it out. I wouldn't even waste time. So bear that in mind. So when we're putting all of this stuff together, it's important to have good processes and templates ahead of time, use good AI tools, and use good effective time tracking tools to help you capture value, in addition to making sure you have good storage solutions, good ways of generating media and pictures, and make sure that you partner with the right type of people. Let's definitely connect, as I always say. You can contact me via LinkedIn, YouTube, or TikTok. But of course, if you want a competitive edge as a business leader in today's current climate, and you want to have a thriving portfolio career, I can at least try to help you within that space. So complete the form below. If you want to see more videos centered around portfolio careers, leadership, consulting, personal development, all these different things that I'm interested in, then make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And as always, my friends, understand, reach, and expand. Peace.